Well, hello everyone, coming to you from the great outdoors again. Hey everybody, welcome to today's Tarot Tuesday. I took you on my hike with me today. We're out in a beautiful Towsley Canyon at a nice little spot that is very top secret. I'm not going to tell you where it is because I enjoy being here by myself. Maybe someday, if everyone is lucky, I will give you the details on this top secret spot in Towsley. Today, I'm going to go into the Tarot Tuesday. Such an interesting shift has occurred. I felt it. I've felt it energetically. I felt it in the meditation at the top of the reading. I usually ask, what's the message for today, or what's kind of the theme that's going to crown the reading. And if you remember, if you're following, last week we talked a lot about being patient, right? Patience was the key word that came through, and there were things percolating still. Our heart's vision was coming into clear view, but it wasn't quite time to take any action yet. And that was very clear in the reading last week. And it's so fascinating that this week, as we move into this next 7 days, the shift is very present. I felt it personally. I felt it in the reading, and the word that came through was assertion. And as I leaned into that a little bit more, what came through was allowing what is in us to assert itself in whatever organic way it wants to. That means whatever is deep inside of us, whatever place we're creating from now, as we focus and hone in on what wants to be born from the heart, right? What wants to spring forth from the heart, and what wants to be created now as we've moved through this process. There's been a lot of shedding the last month or so, a lot of sorting through old pieces, letting old things go, confronting old parts of the ego, and we're moving into a time of renewal. I feel that very much personally, and it's so present in the cards and the readings that are coming through as well. So assertion was the word, and I wanted to use the word assertion, or I feel like the word assertion strikes me different than just taking action, because taking action can be kind of impulsive, right? It can be spur of the moment, it can be kind of almost responsive or instinctual, reactive. But to me, assertion comes from like a deep inner knowing, or like a deep place of truth. And it's a sort of it's almost like water that starts to like come out of the bathtub, right? It's like when you sit down in the bathtub that's got a little too much water, and it just kind of like boils over the top and spills over. That's what assertion feels like to me. It comes from a place of fullness and wholeness. And so assertion is crowning the reading today. Again, bringing forth, allowing what wants to come forth organically to sort of spill from the interior of our being, from the core of who we are and from our heart, and allowing that to become present in the world is different than just taking action, right? So keep that in mind. This organic sort of assertion of your inner truth is coming to the surface right now, and it's very present in the reading and the cards. This is why I love doing the cards on a regular basis, and I love sharing this with you all, because now you get to take the journey with me. This is something I've been doing for a long time for myself, but it's fun to see how it resonates with the collective. So let's get into the rest of the reading after that very long intro. I've done the usual spread. The first card is the card that what's the energy that brought us into today's reading. So we've got the Four of Swords. I love this card as an indicator of where we're coming from, and where, kind of crowning where we're going. Because last week, remember I said we want to be patient, right? We pulled the Five of Swords in the unconscious influences, and I talked about how that card very often represents aspects of the ego, or the wounded parts of ourself, or aspects of our intellect that might compel us to impulsively do something that we know isn't necessarily in our highest good. So having the Five of Swords in that unconscious influences place last week, we come into this week with the Four of Swords, which to me is a card, if you look at the imagery, we've got this lamb, the golden third eye is all lit up. There's four swords kind of dangling over the crown of the lamb, but the lamb is at peace. There's an inner strength, an inner clarity, a presence of mind that this is being at peace with some of this sort of this foreboding, the swords that are looming overhead. Again, if we compare, or if we associate the swords with like the intellect or the mind or the ego, this is really being at a fundamental peace with that. We're not being necessarily disturbed or swayed or triggered by the presence of these mental activities. They're just there, and we found a clarity and a presence of mind. And fours are foundations, so that's why I want to say there's a fundamental comfort at the core. We're becoming more at peace with these things that may otherwise disturb us or compel us to act in certain ways. So good job, everybody, for finding that center, finding that peace, and finding that clarity. It's very present in the energy that's bringing us into the week. Then the second card is what's the energy that's strong with us? This is what's the wave. wave? What's the wave that we can catch coming into this week? And we've pulled the Empress card. And I love the Empress card in this position at this time, and with that message at the top of the reading, which was allowing what is inside of us to organically assert itself. The Empress is a creative card. It's the essence of the divine feminine. It's the essence of creation. And what I love about this card popping up in this position is if you look at this beautiful tree that is sprouted in the image, one, it's happening, we have the sort of the intuitive symbolism of the moon and the darkness. So it's like from the void, from the darkness that is the interior of a seed, sprouts this beautiful tree. And when you think about what wants to be born and created in your life right now, and what you're stepping into, what you're allowing to unfold today and in this week and the next 7 days as we come out of this period of shedding, is you're allowing from the depths of your intuitiveness, from the darkness inside. Again, if we think about what's inside of a seed before it cracks open and the tree or the plant or the life begins to spring from it, it's dark inside of that, right? But when we shine a little light on it, when we water it, what starts to happen naturally is it just emerges, right? And the beautiful thing about plant life, right, and well, I guess all of life in general, is that there's a very natural process of gestation and then coming into being. That's sort of the energy and the vibration that we want to lean into for us right now. We're not forcing things. What we're really doing is opening up to allowing the truth of what is inside of us to unfold and come from within and sprout and spring into something beautiful and new and refreshing. Maybe it's odd in the time of harvest to be sort of leaning into spring, but there's an aspect of ourselves that is coming forth in that way. There's a part of us there's a renewal happening, a new creation that is starting to sprout. So that's the energy that's strong with us this week. I would highly recommend leaning into it. It was so clear at the top of the reading, and here it is now in the cards kind of showing itself, allowing that emergence, that organic inner to outward and unfolding of what wants to blossom from inside of you. Really beautiful card. Unconscious influences this week, we pulled a Cups card. So for those of you who've been following, or maybe you're new to tarot, you don't know, but when we talk cups, we're talking emotions and self-expression and matters of the heart. And we got the Father of Cups, and the Father of Cups is sort of the consummate diplomat. This is a masculine energy, and this doesn't mean it could be someone that's influencing you, but it's also a part of ourselves. It's a mature and masculine energy that is very in touch with feelings and emotions, and not only in touch with these feelings and emotions, but is a sort of a master of them, right? The quality and the essence and the characteristics that come with the Father of Cups is like the consummate diplomat. This is someone who knows how to choose their words carefully. This is someone who knows how words and communication and emotions, how they interact and they sort of play together. This is someone who has an incredible emotional awareness, and has reached a state of real mastery when it comes to their emotions. So what does that mean for us this week? Well, this is leaning into what's unconscious in us now, what some of the unconscious influences is this budding maturity, this budding spiritual maturity that is coming into being, is really strong with you. So whether you're aware of it or not, know that it's not unlike the Empress card, where this is where the energy is flowing. We really can lean into this wave. Know that what's under the surface is a spiritual and an emotional maturity that is really starting to coalesce and take shape, and that's there to support us and carry us through this time as this new dimension of ourselves that has been gestating for a while and is now starting to spring into being. As that comes forward, know that we have that support and we have that capacity inside of us. So be open to that part of yourself in terms of allowing it to guide you and to support you and to water the seed, so to speak, that wants to be born. And do that in a conscious way. Do it with great self-awareness and with great emotional awareness. That's what the Father of Cups says to me in that position today. As far as where we're going, I pulled 2 cards. Again, I always honor when 2 cards want to jump out and I read them together. So what we got is the first card that was popped out to me was the 8 of Pentacles, and then also the Mother of Pentacles. So what does this say for where we're going? The 8 of Pentacles, to me, we got 2 Pentacles cards. So we're talking about material reality. We're talking about our physical body. We're talking about home. We're talking about finance. We're talking about sort of earthy things. We're talking about being in the world. Pentacles is related to matters of the earth and the earth element. And we've got the eight of Pentacles, which is a card of craftsmanship or craftswomanship and craftspersonship, however we want to frame it. And this is someone who is mastering their craft, and is learning to claim their value and their worth, because eights in numerology very often to me speak to power and authority. This is claiming our own power and our own authority very much in an embodied way. I don't necessarily, not gonna necessarily interpret this as of like a material or financial dimension of your life. It very well could be, but we're talking about matters of the physical earth and the body. And because we've been going through such a transformative process spiritually and emotionally and energetically, I want to connect this to more of a beingness and a more of a connection to the body and an embodiment of recognizing our value, recognizing our worth, and really continuing to work at that. Again, allowing that to assert itself in the world, because the more we step into that very honest reflection, or that honest deep inner knowing that we have about ourselves and our worth and our value, the more we draw people, experiences, and circumstances that support that reflect that dimension of ourselves. So this is a really nice card to get in conjunction with the Mother of Pentacles, and the Mother of Pentacles is a feminine card. This is a very, to me, the way I want to interpret this is, as we head out of this, we're moving into a more nurturing and nourishing aspect of ourselves. It's not, to me, it's not a shock to see the Mother of Pentacles pop up when we've pulled the divine feminine creator, the three, the Empress, with a Father of Cups, which is a very sensitive and the most sort of feminine and intuitive and sensitive cards in the, I should say, the most sensitive and emotionally self-aware father card in these suits. So really, we're looking at sort of like the combining of these two energies, this balance of masculine, very sensitive masculine, right? Very savvy and emotionally intelligent masculine, with, you know, the pure essence of motherly creation. And so the Mother of Pentacles is a little bit of a reflection of that, in the sense that the Mother of Pentacles is the consummate nurturer of the things of the body and the things of the earth. This is a quality and characteristic of ourselves that really knows how to wrap ourselves up in nurturing and nourishing. In this case, you know, she's got her beautiful little baby kind of snuggled against her body. And so this is an element of ourselves that knows how to nurture and nourish and kind of lose ourselves in the things that we're giving birth to, the things that we're creating. So I sense more of a closeness, you know, we're bridging this maybe this division in ourselves, or maybe what once was a separation between our value and what we bring to the table, and a deep inner knowing about what our worth is and what we want to create. And we're sort of moving into the state where now we're going to nurture that. We've gone through all this shedding, this letting go, this kind of fending off any impulse to get involved with the old things that don't serve us anymore. Now we're going to move into really nurturing and nourishing that new part of ourself that we're going to give birth to. So really a great direction to go, a logical direction to go after we've pulled the Empress and the Father of Cups. And finally, to wrap it up, just because I was feeling, you know, fun about it, I was like, okay, well, is there a big lesson here? What's the major arcana lesson? What's the arc, you know, for us here? And I pulled, fly in my face. I pulled the Five of Cups with the Magician, and this final message that I want to offer up to everybody today is this moment that we're moving through is about turning our grief and our disappointment into positive, affirmative action that is in alignment with that which we want to create. That's how I would sum that up. The Cups, again, is related to matters of the heart and the emotion. 5 is a card of grief and disappointment. 5s are very transitionary numbers. It's a very unstable number, and it's about transition and transiency. So this transient state of grief and disappointment, we are turning those emotions and feelings into positive action, in the form of allowing what is within us to kind of sprout and give rise to what is organic and natural and whole in us. So there you have it. I know I'm closing in on the 15-minute mark. This one was a little bit longer today, but I want to cut this short because I don't want Instagram TV or whatever to not allow me to post my video. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below how this resonates for you. I really appreciate you being on this journey with me. I'm feeling this reading big time for me today. I hope you're feeling it too. And I look forward to checking in over the week and into next week to see where this all goes. Until then, thanks for joining me here in the beautiful Towsley Canyon, and I'll see you next time. Adios.